Okay, so we have, as you can see, we have 2 dead currently. Hifumi and Taka have both met their untimely end, and we need to investigate these together, basically. I remember the last thing that we did on Friday was talk to Sakura, and we kind of went over everything, but it was like a huge, huge recap, and I don't really feel like doing it again right now. Yeah, for me too. So let's look at the bodies. I think that was the next thing we had to do. Hifumi's big, even now they gotta be fat shaming him. Hifumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. Come on, Makoto. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? I mean, that is a valid question. You know, that could throw light on who the killer is based off of if they have the physical strength to move someone. From the nurse's office, he was discovered to hear the repository. It's not like there's fucking elevators in here either. Like, that's you know, hauling a body up the stairs or down the stairs is not going to be an easy task. All the way from the first floor to the 3rd floor and without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer number 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that? And why? Taka, poor guy. He'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer number 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind when the body was moved. I'm just double checking to see if there's any additional dialogue. I don't think so. Okay, I don't think there's anything else in here for us to investigate because we investigated everything but the bodies on Friday. There's only one way in and out of this room. Through the door that Hina had said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. Makoto, we discussed this. You also jiggled the handle. You knew that the door was locked. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone into the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims there's no way someone could have beaten them into the repository. So that certain someone... There's got to be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There's some places I already know about. First the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found, and then the equipment room, where Taka was found. I mean, didn't we come from the equipment room? Haven't we already checked there? Maybe it's just like generic dialogue until you've checked all places. Okay, let's go look at the nurse's office. We're not walking there. We're too tired. We're gonna teleport. Even walking in game is too much right now. Where is it? It's over there. Okay. I doubt that the cameras are gonna have anything. It's just a normal trash can. Huh. Wait. There's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. It's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Ugh, but it's also covered in blood. Oh, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth? Yeah, there's always something inside the trash, right? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I know, it's almost like we just saw a pair of glasses that were covered in blood when we first saw them, and then aren't now. It's weird, right? It's so strange. I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. But I think it might be important. A refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in there. For blood transfusions, I guess. Yeah. It doesn't help me, though. I'm not a vampire. I mean, if you get thirsty enough, I get... No. Justice Hammer 3. The one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. Okay. The bloodstain itself is not interactable, so I think the only thing left is to talk to Celeste. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right? Correct. Kino is not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So, then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Surprised they haven't started, like, accusing Sakura yet. Okay, I don't think there's anything else to interact with in here. Are we supposed to... Where is everybody? Because the other spot that they mentioned was the supply room, which we started in, and I feel like that's where we would have started investigating, but then they kind of mentioned for us to go back there, which is kind of weird. I think it is, because Sakura's already accounted for, yeah. As she was with us, I believe, in the cafeteria at the beginning when they were first attacked. So, I mean, that's why they're kind of after Yasuhiro. If I remember correctly, only two without alibis are Hiro and Kyoko, yeah. Well, Kyoko has a partial alibi, because she was with us in the cafeteria to begin with when the first attack happened, but then she's been missing ever since we split up. Exactly, Sakura is probably the only one that could move him. That's why I'm surprised they aren't throw it. Like, they'll blame Genocide Jack for, like, anything. Like, somebody sneezes and it's like, Genocide Jack must be murdering people again. But, for this, they're not, like, stretching the realms of possibility, apparently. Okay. So we talked to Celeste there. It looks like nobody's on the second floor. I mean, admittedly, I'm not sure if we're supposed to, like, walk around and try to find Yasuhiro somewhere. I guess the best thing to do would be to go back to the supply room, because they kind of directed us there. Yeah, that's basically everything. So... Why am I doing that? I'm gonna teleport. We'll go back to the supply room, see if there's like a new interaction there, and then we start looking for Yasuhiro and seeing who we can hunt down and talk to. Is Toko awake now? Yes, she's awake. Okay. Well, I mean, Jack is, but still. We'll try quickly talking to some of this stuff. Yeah. Huh? This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. Maybe under one of the bodies. There's some kind of mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There's blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Who would have thought that the room with a dead body and a dolly in it that, you know, has tire tracks in the blood, and then there's a different room with a dead body and a dolly in it, that maybe it could have been used to move the body? Who would have thought? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Yeah, Jill's running low on potential targets according to her own rules. True, true. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. It's still a total mystery. We'll give this like a quick look. I'm pretty sure there's going to be nothing different about this. Yeah. Okay. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. Really? That's it? That's... Thanks for the help, Jill. Appreciate you weighing in as always. There's nothing else. Yeah, no. Okay. We've established that Makoto is not the brightest bulb in the box. Yeah, he is exceedingly average, right? Like, that's the whole point. Yeah, informative as always. Okay. So, we're done with the equipment room. I guess now we do just, like, a full run-through. We go everywhere. We check for anything bizarre. But there's nothing kind of, like, jumping out now. Oh, there we go. So this is where you were. And I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Yeah, considering how the class trials go, I feel like he's smarter than most of them. Look. Just because he's extremely average, like everybody else is good at one particular thing that is not necessarily thinking. But still, being average, he's definitely going to be better at thinking than quite a few of them. Also, how's it going, Exotic? How is Monday treating you so far? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hiro's room. Oh, and let me give you this. This was the note that Hiro wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression. Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. It's like, Byakuya, sometimes I fucking want to fail. Sometimes I want us all to die just to wipe that smug grin off your face. Ugh. You're activating the Moggy spite, you know? Like, it happens. Yasuhiro's message has been added to the truth bullet section. So he said to go to Hiro's room, but what's waiting for me there? I'm so ready for him to be disappeared. It feels like he's not gonna make it. Like, it would be nice to be able to make sure. Like, honestly, I would love a version. Thank you, Saribot. I would love a version of this game that was a little bit more choose your own adventure-y and more modular, where you could affect the outcome of the story by making certain decisions, so that way you could get him killed off, sort of thing. Okay. I don't think it's worth walking there. I don't think we're gonna run into people on the way. Here. Oh my god. Okay, which one is Hiro's room? Koto, Mondo, Junko, Taiko, Chihiro, Celeste, Aoi, Sakura, Leon, Yasuhiro. There we go. Oh man, Hiro, you're kind of like alone in this corner now. All your neighbors are dead. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside? Byakuya did say to go look. Might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Yasuhiro, please don't also be dead. No, he's decorated. That's nice. This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Judgy. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? That is terrible fucking logic, Makoto. What are you, an American police officer? That camera is like glitching the fuck out. I'm assuming that's just like... Yeah, okay, that's nothing. The game's just being weird. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. Okay. He's in the process of making a box for it. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and some things made out of, looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hiro's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Yeah, maybe it's the fact that the handwriting is completely different than the sample that we know of for Yasuhiro, where we commented on his handwriting being so nice. Also, if the door is unlocked, literally anybody could have brought them in. Robo Justice blueprints have been added to the Truth Bullet section. Really? I can't look at the table? Okay. Wait, is that... Okay, we can't look at really any of the decorations. So I guess just the bathroom. I mean, we can try looking at this just in case there's a Monokuma coin. No. soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy, though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? It's true. They haven't been there long. It should not be super dirty. Okay, that's the only thing in here. Yeah, I feel like if we had missed something, they wouldn't have let us leave the area yet. Makoto, big news. Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news. Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the 2nd floor. To think that Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the 2nd floor as fast as I could. Ultimate. Kyoko. And... Man, I've had the worst day. Hiro. Okay, let's talk to everyone but Hiro first. I am positive that this is the suspicious individual that attacked me. Here's a POV example of using the ultimate hope roll. Okay. Apparently that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you. We will, but we're gonna talk to everything first. There's a big locker near the pool. Yeah. Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him. And people arguing to each other. Makoto uses to shut the fuck up. Yeah. Who do we talk? They're directing me to talk to Kyoko, so we're gonna talk to Yasuhiro first. Hiro? Yeah, duh. Who else would I be? That's a good question. What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up. Oh, Kyoko. I love it. I still can't believe that you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something. Dude, you're stuck in, like, a mech costume. That's creepy. Anyways, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace. There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind. Never mind. She had to poop. That's what was going on. More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that. Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. One second I was asleep, I don't even know how that happened, and then I woke up and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you. Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I mean, this should be a pretty big clue to them, because if he can't get the costume off by himself, I would wager a guess that he possibly cannot get the costume on by himself either. I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that keeps you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but we slowly were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro? And more to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a second. Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well. It's interesting that Celeste knows that. Byakuya knew that. He directed us there. When did Celeste see them? We didn't tell her that. In other words, it's obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too. Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him? Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else. I mean, he's not allowed to kill anybody else. 2 people have died. Tie me up. Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far. He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean... Attacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake Hiro running around. You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me. I mean, like, technically I would say that anyone who is around his size / a little smaller would be able to fit into it. Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat, Hina starts putting on the Robo Justice costume. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention... You totally can't bend at the waist. It seems like a pretty obvious oversight. It's not a very nice thing to say. Hiro, why are you defending the costume? Hmm? I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment. Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could fit into this dumb costume. In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. I notice you're not volunteering to get into the suit, Byakuya. Oh, okay. Against my will, I pick up the pieces off the floor and try putting them on. That's no good. The arms are too long and there's no way I can wear this. See? I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume is made to fit Hiro's body exactly. Then there's another costume. They must have made one that looks the same, but it fits them. If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence. Evidence? I mean, like, you know, Celeste, it's really hard to prove a negative, you know? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck? Who cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway. Which is how we know it was him. I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? Robo Justice costume has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. I guess we go through talking to everybody again? I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to turn up at the same time. But where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea. Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? You're quite protective of her, yes? That's because she helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. It's looking more and more like it really was a setup. There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it. Like a huge part of this isn't building some sort of narrative to blame it on someone else. Aoi, I feel like you still haven't quite understood the game that we're a part of. If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured it out. Someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto. Who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people? Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed, that's it. I know who did it. You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right? Which means Alter Ego and Chihiro must have done it. Spooky Laptop, written by Stephen King. I see. That's unfortunate. Huh? Unfortunate? Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong. Oh, I know. That note. Note. Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole that maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, and then for some reason I fell asleep. The real killer probably drugged me or something. Not a chance. No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? Yeah, we got knocked out. I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote all of that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. I mean, Aoi, you're sweet and all, but I kind of feel like if you got that note, you would also believe it. After being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it. Well, you should buy it. Okay, then show us the note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket. It looks like I lost it, or more likely, Hiro, while someone was stuffing you in that costume, they took it out of your pocket. Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. For the one that stepped out to get donuts in a band area. Owie, let's not act so high and mighty. 100%. 100%. I also feel like Owie and some of the students who literally have not really helped with the investigation, with searching and stuff like that, I'm like, why do you guys not seem more grateful of the fact that I've saved your life twice now? What the heck? For serious? Yasuhito's account has been added to the truth bullets. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Hina! Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. No, it's like I said. Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me. Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. Smart. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? Yeah, you're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. Pete, don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko, the Genocide Jack, to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping. But can you promise me something? Later when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared? Nope. To reject me so simply. Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Like, Makoto, I don't think you understand how this relationship is. Okay, you are going to give me what I ask, and I am not going to give you anything that you ask for, and that is our dynamic. Okay. Thanks. Now then, shall we? So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses. I cannot believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me. I mean, like, Makoto, you need to, like, harden up a little bit here. Like, this is the reality of your life. You need to get a little desensitized right now. Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living. Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer? Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. I guess we should head that way for now. Repository is such like a clue word. Where am I going? What floor am I on? Oh, I'm on the second floor. No wonder this little looks wrong. There we go. Kusumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment. Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies. The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, let's talk to the living and then examine the bodies again. Doesn't Kyoko get creeped out poking at dead bodies and stuff? There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. No, we don't want to go through it again right now. Okay. Okay, there's nothing different with the bodies, so we're just supposed to talk to Kyoko. Makoto, I found something. You did? Do you remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? No, I do not remember that at all. That is something that I never clocked, actually. You did? Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, I just don't give a shit about people's watches unless it's a really cool watch that grabs my attention. No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch? Yeah. Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6? But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls. So if it worked at 10 o'clock last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be... Okay, you know, that's on us if we didn't notice that. I mean, like, not us as in me and chat, because we can only see what the screen shows us, but it's on Makoto for not noticing the fact that he's very obviously gripping a piece of paper in his hand. You're right. There's something white in there. Can you try to pry it out? Me? Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. It's okay, I'll take the blame. No, never! Never! We're blameless. I will stand up for you. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. Piece of paper. No. Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. It's a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it? I mean, if you can find what it's ripped off of, though, and match up the rip mark, then that could be very important. I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body. Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. So, did you find anything? I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper? Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden? He'd stuffed it in his pants. So I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you know? It's unclear there if she means in his pocket or not. In his pants? Wait, so you... It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means. I'm like, Kyoko, you might have some weird priorities. Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? It just makes me think of, like, how many women think that it's okay to, like, tuck money in their bra and then use sweaty boob money to pay for things. It's like, no, that shit's gross. Don't do that. A note. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. And there's the ripped edge, too. Monokuma can't find out, so don't let anyone else tell, or don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. That sounds very familiar. Yeah. That's it. It's the same thing that Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth. Although, it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else now. For now, let's meet at the rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked to meet him at 6 a.m. Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note, it doesn't mean that it was meant for him. Huh? Part of it's been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully. Why would he have been clutching that scrapped paper so tightly? I have no idea. What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Okay, the note Hifumi had has been added to the Truth Bullet section. And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there's any reason to think that they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right? If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come to a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Don't you do it. Don't you move to the class trial phase. God damn it. It's 9:30. Do you guys think that this is enough time? Last time it wasn't, and we started at 10:30. We got an extra hour today. Do we risk it? Like the bright burst of fireworks, like a flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Yeah, another 5-hour stream. Oh god, I hope not. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon. It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a save spot in a second anyway, but we're going to save right here. It'll take a while for a save. Maybe you can pivot to something else. Let's continue and pray that autosaves do exist. There's a little symbol that pops up. If I wasn't about to lurk, I would look out for them, but during the intermission, there's definitely one there. Okay, thank you. I suppose there's probably nobody, like, hanging out anywhere that, what we doing today, boss? We're about to start class trial for the 3rd and 4th murders. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody. Actually, there was a symbol there, wasn't there? Oh, that's where we are. That's where we're going. Never mind. Am I still allowed to punt Monokuma? Always. You are always allowed to punt Monokuma. Okay, let's, explains the cheers. Yeah. Hifumi died. I'm going to miss his dynamic voice actor. His voice actor is great. I'm not going to miss the things that he says, though. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there. Oh god, they're in stereo. He's multiplied. Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? I mean, in games when this happens to me, I just smack both of you and see which one of you takes damage. Can we get on the elevator already? You're not playing along. We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine. Then if everybody's here and ready to go, please board the pain train elevator. Well, we can't hit either, so it doesn't really matter. True. I'll see you guys down there. Okay then, shall we? Monokuma pulling out the "come play with us" trope, yeah. Oh, hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hiro. You're gonna pay for your sins. God, Aoi is like really... She's like really set on this. I told you already, I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom. She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. Okay, there's nobody hiding in the corner back there. I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude. I mean, one wasn't that great of a loss. I'm like, you paired out two characters that I wasn't super interested in spending time with during the free time. We have to avenge Taka. And Hifumi. Who's Hifumi? The only thing sad about Hifumi dying, really, is that I quite like his name. Like, the way that it's written is fun. Because his name is like 123. And so I'm like, that's it. That's the sad part. Let's hurry up and go, so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes. Aoi, you would be so dead without me. Were you listening? Wait until we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. If you don't like them, then it's okay for them to die. I mean, in fiction, yes. You know? When it's a story, it's perfectly fine for characters that you don't like to die. Yeah, the best part of the character is his name, yeah. Come on, Big Mac. Let's do it. No, it wasn't me. You gotta believe me. The story begins when we get down there. It would appear that the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time. Or like Hina, but sometimes she takes the idiot mantle and runs with it, yeah. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Yeah, Hifumi was a bit annoying. At least his cringiness makes me feel something. Yeah, like, there are other characters of a similar kind of attitude in other franchises that I liked more, but I still maintain his voice actor was one of the best in the game. The way that he would switch from being like animal, like the very like kind of nerdy sort of thing, to the commanding voice when he was getting into his stuff, it was really well done. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. Oh, he redecorated again. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute. It is a good character design. Monokuma's design is good. Boy. Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed last trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Dun dun dun! Yes, we do want to save the data. A deadly death. The worst kind of death. A deadly death. Yeah, peak girl lines. You can't hate me, I'm cute. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we really need to go through the e-handbook. We have other skills that we can set now. So before, the only thing we had on was Melodious Voice. Neural Liberation. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Effective during the non-stop debate, the Hangman's Gambit, and the bullet time battle cost 5 SP. We might as well, like, equip everything that we can. Focus gauge recovers more quickly. Effective, yeah. I think, yeah, those are the only ones we have right now. What if everyone just decides to kill Hiro inside the elevator? I think Monokuma would fucking end us. Because that doesn't play into the thing, like the game that he has set up. Okay. We're just gonna skip through some of this because we're familiar with this now. We already know who did it. What's that? It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them. I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it. Shut your murdering mouth, murderer. Jill. Come on. Who are you calling a murderer? I'm sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. blueprints for the suit.
あの衣装の制作に使われたと思われるこれら部品の数々。
Parts we assume were used to build it.
すべてあなたの部屋から見つかったものです。これらが動かぬ証拠ですわ。
And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit the evidence is quite compelling.
あなたがあの衣装を作り上げ、それを身にまとい、次々と犯行を重ねていったということね。
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime. Yeah, but saying that to Hina, true. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Okay, time to remember which fucking buttons to press. Okay, Yasuhiro's message is the only thing truth bullet that's been loaded. Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they're all proof enough that you are the culprit. I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true, it's a conspiracy. Hiro, why? Why did you kill them? No, hold on a second. I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is... Got it. Are we sure that Hiro really made those blueprints? What do you mean? Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints, there's no way you could think the same person made both of them. Imagine if there's a case where the killer purposely makes themselves the focus just to invoke this trope, you know? You know, it was self-report. Speaking of the Among Us talk. Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting. Yeah, the way that like all the students are like, shh, we have to meet in the bathhouse. Like we have to be circumspect about this, and then they'll just talk about it in a room with a camera. I'm like, these kids, again, not the brightest sometimes. Come on, I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway. So Makoto, are you saying that you don't think that Hiro's the culprit? And he's not the only one. I think that Hiro is innocent as well. Well, I mean, if Byakuya thinks it. What? Then who was in that Robo Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit? The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was. And of course he passes it off to me. So, who was in the Robo Justice suit? I mean, it was Hiro. It was Hiro. Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit. Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect. Byakuya! Pick something and stick with it. I know who did it, but you say it again, Dora the Explorer approach, yeah.
言ってることおかしいじゃん。
That doesn't
荒
make,
くれば犯人じゃないって言ったばっかだよ。
that doesn't make any sense. You just said that Hiro didn't do it. I mean, technically, he said that he didn't think that Hiro did it, but Hiro is the prime suspect, which is accurate.
おかしくなどない。荒くれは不審者の正体ではあるが、犯人ではないというだけだ。
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
ということはまさか。
So what you're saying is...
そう。今回の事件の犯人はあの不審者とは関係ない。
That's right. The culprit in this case had nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
え
What?
いや、メッセージ。
Now that's a bold assumption.
根拠はあるのですか？
And what
あの
reason...
不審者が犯人ではないという根拠は？
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
もちろんだ。だがその前に
Of course. But before we get to that...
はっきりさせておかねばならないことがある。まずはそれについて話しておくとしよう。
There's something else we need to clarify first, so let's get that out of the way.
ちょっと、もったいぶらないでよ。
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
物事には順序というものがあるんだ。
All things have a proper order.
それで何なのだ。先にはっきりさせておかねばならぬこととは。
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
石丸の死体の運搬方法についてだ。
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
あいつの死体が運搬された際、どうやらあるものが使われたようなのだが。
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
どうだ苗木。お前に答えられるかな？
Makoto, can you tell us what they were? The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been... Well, I mean, like, there's two things here, so I guess we just do one at a time, because it was the blue tarp. And... the repository dolly.
これだ。台車とビニールシートだよね。
They were a dolly and a tarp, right? What's with the attitude?
一応説明しておくと。
So let's see if I can explain.
物理準備室から消えた石丸くんの死体が美術倉庫で再発見された時、
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository.
彼の死体はビニールシートにくるまれていたよね。
And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
あのビニールシートって物理準備室にあったものと同じものだったんだよ。
It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
犯人は物理準備室から石丸くんの死体を運び出す際、そこにあったビニールシートを使ったんじゃないかな。
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
死体の移動中に血痕を残してしまわないようにね。
That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
ビニールシートの件はなんとなく分かっていたが、愛車というのは何だ。
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
それはね、
Same thing.
最初に物理準備室で石丸くんの死体が発見された時、そこには確かに台車があったのに。
I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
死体が消えた後は台車も一緒になくなってたんだ。
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
その後、美術倉庫で石丸くんの死体が再発見された時には、
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
そこには死体と一緒に台車もあったんだ。
so did the dolly.
つまり死体は台車によって運ばれたとおっしゃりたいのですね。
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right?
ですが、それは思い違いではありませんか？
But are you sure you're not mistaken?
最初に物理準備室で石丸くんの死体を発見した時、本当にそこに台車があったのでしょうか？
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? I mean, the blood-stained wheel is pretty compelling evidence for this.
そもそもあの台車は美術室の彫像などを載せておくためのものですわよね。
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room.
それが物理準備室にあったこと自体が不自然ですわ。
It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. And like, Celeste, have you ever been in a high school? Equipment gets shared between rooms like crazy. Things go missing and turn up in other rooms all the time.
本当は最初から美術倉庫にあったものを移動したと勝手に勘違いしただけではありませんか？
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along and you simply didn't realize it?
言われてしまったな、苗木。さて、どうする？
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
気にしないでください、苗木くん。あなたには誰も期待していませんから。
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Celeste.
あなたが勘違いキャラだというのは周知の事実なのです。
I should have let you die in an earlier round. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what's going on around you. Wow, I have never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. Yeah, probably. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Oh god, another new mechanic. Yeah, lay it on me. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add in one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it'll cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember the X button now has a function along with the A and the Y buttons. You'll automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action is set, yeah, if it's set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Are we already doing one of the tempo ones? Yes, we are.
勘違いですわ。賛同できません。おバカさん。痛い人。嘘は通用しません。上等ですわ。惨めですわね。賛同できません。おバカさん。上等ですわ。勘違いですわ。賛同できません。おバカさん。
Not going well.
痛い人。嘘は通用しません。上等ですわ。惨めですわね。賛同できません。おバカさん。上等ですわ。
God damn.
惨めですわね。勘違いですわ。賛同できません。
Still got through it, but
賛同できません。
これで証明するよ。
that was terrible. Yeah, I actually remembered the controls for
移動
once.
している根拠ならちゃんとあるんだ。
Trying to time that, like, the reload, because I got kind of confused there, where, like, I'm reloading and trying to manage my bullets, and then I'm noticing that I'm like, fuck, when I'm managing the bullets, it's not locking on to the phrases, so then when I try to shoot after I reload, it's not actually doing anything. So it's like I need to kind of invert my reload and my regular tempo, like my X and my A for the next one. But we got through it at least. If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
僕が美術倉庫で台車を見つけた時、そのタイヤには血痕が付着してたんだけど、
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
それと同じタイヤの跡が物理準備室の血だまりにも残ってたんだ。
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with tire marks in it that matched the dolly's wheel tread.
きっと犯人が物理準備室から死体を運び出す際に誤って台車のタイヤに血をつけてしまって、
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood by accident when they wheeled the body out of the room.
それをそのまま美術倉庫まで移動させちゃったんだよ。
And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository.
これが根拠だよ。石丸くんの死体運搬に台車が使われたこともね。
So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body. Does Celeste really hate me that much?
まあいいだろう。所詮補足の話だ。そろそろ本題に戻るとするか。
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
そうだ、ジャスティスロボが犯人じゃないって話だよ。犯人がジャスティスロボじゃないなら。
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not if it's not a killer robot, then
じゃあどんなロボなの？
what kind of robot is it? Aoi, you've missed the point a little bit.
朝日奈よ。
Yeah.
僕は関係ないと思うぞ。
I'm not sure that really matters.
では話してやろう。例の不審者が事件の犯人ではないという根拠をな。
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
それは石丸の死体運搬の流れを振り返ってみればすぐに見えてくるはずだ。
If you look back on how the body was transported, it'll become immediately obvious. Yeah, so Yasuhiro couldn't get out of the suit because it required help. The body was obviously moved on a dolly. The dolly does not have any handle, so it has to be moved, like you have to bend down to grab it, and there's no waist joint in the suit that Yasuhiro was in. If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? I'll be happy to explain how it happens. Tell them, Nag. As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room, and from there the body was moved to the repository, correct? Yeah, the culprit was wrapped the body in the tarp, and then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right? Now keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
でも取っ手なんかなくたって。
Well, yeah, but even without a handle,
腰をかがめた
all you'd have to do
体
is
勢に
bend
なれば
over. I think that's the one that we're gonna have to target. Then you can push the dolly, no problem.
そうやって運んだ先が
So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository. If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit. Sorry, I don't think I realized anything. Yeah. Oops. But would anyone wearing the suit have been able to actually stoop down like that?
犯人は物理中その死体を運ぶ死体をビニールシートそれを
Tarp,
台車に乗せ
dolly,
て
handle.
運ぶでも取っ手なんかなくたって腰をかがめた体勢になれば
それは違う。
Got it.
確かに腰をかがめて姿勢を低くすれば取っ手のない台車でも押せたかもしれない。
You're absolutely right, but you could push a dolly without the handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that,
そんな体勢になれたのかな。
but if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
どういう意味
What do you mean?
思い出してみてよ。あの衣装をみんなで確認した時のこと。
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember? I'm blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. It seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
あの衣装を着てると足元が見えないように腰を全く曲げられない。
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
そうだったよね。
Am I right about that?
そういえばそうだった
Now that you mention it, yeah.
腰を曲げられないとなる。追っ手のない台車を押すのが難しそうだな。
It seems like it would be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
でしたら足で蹴って台車を転がせば
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
足元が全く見えないんだよ。そんな状態で台車を蹴って転がせる？
When you can't even see your feet? You think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
足元見えないんじゃ無理だろよくわかんないけど
Yeah, it'd totally be impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
それにあの動きづらい衣装を着たままでは
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit,
死体をビニールシートで包むといった細かい作業ができたのかも疑問だな。
it's very unlikely that you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp. Like, Byakuya, you're actually being helpful.
死体を運ぶ時だけその衣装を脱げばいいって話じゃないの？
Well, I mean, isn't it just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body? Except for that Hiro couldn't get into the suit on his own. There's absolutely no chance that the costume is taken off to move the body, because you can't take it off by yourself.
死体運搬の時だけ衣装を脱いだとは考えられないよ。だってさ、
I don't think taking off the suit was an option, if you remember. I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? That's better? Okay, good. Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that keeps you from getting it off. Slightly different. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
そうか。あの衣装は自力では着脱できなかったのだな。
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
本当に自力で脱げなかったの？葉隠れの嘘じゃなくて？
Then you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
嘘なんかじゃねえって。
Of course I wasn't making it up.
自力で脱げるんだったら、こんな格好のままみんなの前に現れたりしないよ。
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
そんなの自分から疑ってくれって言ってるようなもんだし。
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect him.
そうだべ。
Yeah, that's right.
じゃあ本当なの？ジャスティスロボが台車を動かせなかったのって。
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
つまり台車で死体を運んだ犯人はジャスティスロボを着ていた葉隠れではないのだな。
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct? Again, I love Hina, but sometimes she's painfully stupid, yeah. I do love that, you know, they've tried to throw suspicion on Hiro, but by doing so, I've basically given him an airtight alibi that it couldn't possibly have been him. I said love Hina, yeah. I've never actually watched that. A lot of the more classic things, I'm just like, eh.
いえ、ちょっと待ってください。お忘れですか？私が撮影した画像のこと。
No, wait, just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
皆さんもご覧になったでしょ？山田くんが不審者によって連れ去られているところを。
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
あの不審者が犯人ではないのなら、あれは一体何だったのです？
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, then how do you explain that?
それに、殺された山田くんだって証言していたではないですか。
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said? How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. Or that's what I decided to call him just now.
この事実がある限り、結論は揺るがないはずです。
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
犯人は例の不審者。つまり、葉隠れくんで間違いありませんわ。
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
そうだよね。やっぱそうだよね。
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
待って。
Hold on a second.
結論を出すのはまだ早いわ。
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
それに、決めるのはいつでもできる。
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it, except for, you know, the end of stream eventually, Kyoko.
その前に、他の可能性を話し合ってみるくらいはしておいた方がいいんじゃない？
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
一つの視点にとらわれるより、様々な視点から見た方が真実に近づける場合もあるはずよ。
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
だが具体的にはどうすればいい？
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
一連の事件を最初から振り返ってみましょう。
Let's,
そこから新しい事実が見えてくるかもしれないわ。
let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
うわっ、めんどくせ
What a pain in the ass!
だが我らの命がかかっているのだ。多少の面倒は仕方あるまい。
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it. Like, Sakura, you were like, hey, yo, you want to run through the events of this case like so many times to me before, but now you're like, oh, it's such a pain to run through the events of this case.
それに事件が起きた時にいなかったキリギリちゃんへの説明も兼ねるんだしさ。
Yes. Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
ではもう一度最初から事件を振り返ってみるか。
Okay, all right then. Let's take another look back at what happened.
まずは今朝のことから始めるぞ。
I suppose we could start with this morning.
今朝食堂に集まったのは我と苗木と朝比奈とキリギリの4人だけだった。
Four of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself.
いくら待っても他の者が来ないので我らはその連中の捜索を開始することにしたんだ。
We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone.
それが8時頃のことだったな。
That was around 8 a.m.
そこで手分けした直後からキリギリちゃんがいなくなっちゃったんだよね。
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
その後朝比奈が3階の娯楽室でセレスを見つけ慌てて苗木や我を集めたのだ。
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
私は不審者に襲われてから1時間ほど気を失っていたようです。
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
つまり私が襲われたのは皆さんに発見される1時間ほど前。
I know it was an
7
hour.
時過ぎですわ。
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
その際セレスが撮った画像によりその不審者が妙なコスプレをしていることが分かった。
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
ジャスティスロボだったな。
As it turns out, it was Robo Justice.
しかもそのジャスティスロボに山田が連れ去られているという事実も判明したのだ。
It had also soon become clear that this was the same Robo Justice that had abducted Hifumi. I find it very interesting that very obviously the name in Japanese is Justice Robo, not Robo Justice, and I wonder why they flipped it for English.
不審者の捜索を始めた我らは川や野上と合流しその後2階の図書室で傷を負った山田を発見した。
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
我らは傷ついた山田を1階の保健室に連れて行き再び不審者の捜索を再開したんだ。
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
そして保健室から出た直後
But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow! Something moving around the top of the stairs.
セレスさんの目撃証言を聞いた僕らは手分けして2階を捜索することになったんだ。
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
そしたらその直後
And soon after that,
今度は3階で不審者の姿を見たのです。
I saw
すぐに大声を上げて皆さんに知らせましたわ。
I saw someone moving around on the third floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
その直後今度は
And then... Yeah. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
そこで僕らは二手に分かれることになったんだ。
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups.
僕とセレスさんと朝比奈さんは1階の保健室に戻り、
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Localization in Justice Robo sounds kind of odd in English rather than like... Sorry, are you saying that Justice Robo sounds weird rather than Robo Justice? Yeah, like Robo Justice, I think it does sound a little bit more pleasing, but I feel like Justice Robo makes more sense. My voice is soothing, thank you. Celestina and I went back to the nurse's office.
大神さんと戸上くんと深川さんが3階で不審者を追ったんだ。
While Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect.
そして僕は戻った保健室で山田くんの死体を発見して、
When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi dead.
そこで死体発見アナウンスが流れるのを聞いたんだ。
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
そのことを伝えるため、セレスさんと朝比奈さんを残して僕は再び3階へと戻った。
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let others know what had happened.
だがその時、我らは3階の物理準備室で石丸の死体を発見したところだった。
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
山田と石丸の死体が発見されたのはほぼ同時だったはずだ。
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
我も石丸の死体を発見した直後、
Because
あのアナウンスが流れるのを聞いたからな。
because we heard the same announcement for not long after we discovered his body.
そこで僕は大神さんと戸上くんに山田くんが殺されていたことを伝えたんだ。
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi.
そして僕たち3人は一緒に保健室に向かうことになったんだよ。
And then the three of us headed to the nurse's office.
だけど物理室を出た直後、
But right after we left the physics lab,
遅れてやってきたセレスさんから僕らは驚くべき話を聞くことになったんだ。
we ran into Celeste, who arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising. Hifumi's body has disappeared.
急いで戻った保健室にはもう山田くんの死体はなかった。
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
直後、気絶した深川を置き去りにしたことを思い出し、我らは再び物理準備室へと戻ったのだが、
We then remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
今度は石丸の死体も消えてしまったのだ。
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing.
我らはすぐに消えた2人の死体の捜索に取り掛かった。
The next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
そしてしばらくすると、
And after some time,
セレスから死体を見つけたと聞いた俺たちは美術倉庫へと向かったんだ。
it's almost like the same name keeps coming up over and over again, right? Isn't that a little suspicious? Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository,
そこで消えていた2つの死体を再発見したんだ。
which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
これが一連の事件の流れだよ。
I think that about covers it.
なるほど。かなり複雑な事件みたいね。
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
これらを一連の連続した事件として考えても、拉致が開かなそうだわ。
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
だったらどうするの？
Okay, well, if that's true, then what? Methinks a certain someone might have tipped their hand too early. Yeah. It's definitely not a difficult case to figure out for this one. Like, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces, but especially when they sum it up like that, it's, at least to me, I find it pretty obvious. There's certain things that stand out. Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
連続した事件としてじゃなくて、それぞれを別々の事件として考えてみるのよ。
Rather than a single series of events, I think they have to consider each murder a separate situation. Yeah, and that concludes flashback time number 35. Stay tuned for flashback time number 36. Yeah.
そしてそこからこの事件の矛盾点を見つけ出すのよ。
And then from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
早速始めましょう。まずは石丸くんの事件からよ。
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka. The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Okay, Monokuma file number 3, which really just has that he was hit in the head, right?
そもそも石丸くんが殺
So
されたの
regarding Taka's
山
death,
田くんより先
I wonder
だ
if
った
he
のか
died
しら
before Hifumi,
それとも後だった
or
の
if
かしら
perhaps it was after?
二人の殺された順
We
番
already
なん
know
て
what
決ま
order
って
they
る
were
よ
killed in.
石丸の方が
Taka
後だ
came
よ
last.
なぜそう思うのだ。
What makes you say that?
ジャスティスハンマーの順番だよ
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
確か山田が3号の
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer number 3,
石丸が4号
while
のハンマ
Taka's
ー
death
で
came
殺
from a
され
swing
た
of
んだ
Justice Hammer number 4.
ほら明らかに石丸の方が
See,
後
so
じゃ
it's
ん
obvious that Taka came after. I mean, that's a pretty big assumption that you're making, Ali, that like the numbers with the hammers are just going to always increment. We were talking in the last stream about the old prank of like releasing 3 pigs in a school or 3 whatever, and like numbering them 1, 2, and 4, so that way people spend a long time looking for number 3, and there never was a number 3. The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order? Okay, I think the numbering is the only thing that we can interact with. Yeah, it has to be the numbering. That's the only other thing we can interact
そもそ
with.
も石丸山田だよ
Okay, so do we want to take the numbering
確か山田が3号のハンマー
and
石丸が4号のハ
fire
ンマ
that
ー
against
明らかに
the
石丸の方が後じゃん
the Monokuma file, or do we want to fire the Monokuma file against the numbering? I don't actually like this one because I don't feel like it makes any sense. Like there's no information in the Monokuma file about the numbering and like the numbering. Okay, let's try loading the first one against the second one.
そもそも石丸くんが殺されたのは山田くんより先だったそれとも後だったのかしら二人の殺された順番なんて決まってるよ石丸の方が後だよ
なぜそう思うのだ。
ジャスティスハンマーの順番だよ
Nope, it's the opposite.
3号のハンマーで殺され石丸
Oh wait, no, I think it actually hit the
ほら明らかに石丸
the
の方が後じゃん
garbage. God damn it. Because it bounced and we didn't lose any
そも
health.
そも石丸の順番だよ
There.
それは違うよ
Yeah, it hit the white noise, yeah.
いやジャスティスハンマーの順番が殺された順番とは限らないはずだよ
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
おいおいおい
Yeah. Hold it!
それ自体が犯
Objection!
人の偽装工作だと考えられるんじゃないかな
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
あのジャスティスハンマーの番号が犯人の偽装工作ということは
You're saying that the culprit wanted us to think that the hammers were used in order.
実際に殺された順番は石丸が先で山田が後だったということか
But in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
だったらその根拠を示してもらおうか
Okay, then let's see the proof. Evidence that proves that Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. I'm assuming this has to do with the notes that they were given. Oh no. Oh shit. I feel like this should be another T. Oh, it's wristwatch. I'm not sure if they have to actually be entered in order. There we go.
そうか分かったぞ された石丸くんの腕時計だよ。
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
ほら、針が6時過ぎを指した状態で壊れちゃってるでしょ。
See? Look, it broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
おそらく犯人に襲われた際に壊れたんでしょうね。
It must have gotten
だって
broken.
昨日の晩見た時に
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night, flashback to a flashback we've already seen. Yes, I'm not reading this out again for a third
しか
time.
も昨日の夜の時点で壊れていなかったとなると、彼が襲われたのは今朝の6時過ぎで間違いないわ。
So if it wasn't broken after 6 o'clock last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning. Like, if I was in one of these games and I was a murderer, I'd be so tempted to, like, break a clock or a watch after manually adjusting the time. So that would be like, oh, it couldn't possibly have been, you know, whatever, because the watch was broken at this time and the hands have, like, frozen there. Like, it's such a trope, but I feel like it's so easy to fake. Yeah, flashback 37 will be 5 seconds from now. I don't doubt it.
つまり石丸くんはその時刻に殺されたんだよ。
And that would be his official time of death.
だが朝の6時過ぎとなると
But if that's true,
山田が殺されたのよりずっと前だな。
then he was killed well before Hifumi.
それに最初にセレスさんが襲われた朝の7時過ぎよりもね。
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
そう、石丸くんの殺害はどの事件よりも早く起きていたのよ。
That's right, Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
それを僕たちは勘違いしてたんだ。
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
あのジャスティスハンマーのせいで事件が起きた順番を誤認していたんだよ。
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events because of all because of those justice hammers.
犯人がわざわざ凶器に番号を振ったのも、凶器を徐々に大きくしていったのも。
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size.
事件がハンマーの番号通りに行われていると誤認させるためだったというわけか。
That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
しかも石丸くんの殺害時刻が朝6時過ぎだとすると、
Now, if
彼
Taka
の殺害時には全員のアリバイが適用されなくなるわ。
was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
だって彼の事件が起きたのは私たちが食堂で合流するより前ってことになるんだから。
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
確かに石丸の殺人に関してはそうかもしれんが、
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder.
だが山田が殺された時は我ら全員にアリバイがあったはずだぜ。
But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
そっか、確か山田が殺された時って。
That's right. With him at least, we're all safe. Yeah. Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have, we flashback 37. We have already flashed this back before as well.
保健室から山田の悲鳴が聞こえた時、葉隠れとキリギリちゃん以外は全員一緒にいたんだよね。
When we heard Ifumi screaming, we were all together, except for Hiro and Kyoko.
その後、みんなで保健室に駆けつけたところで山田の死体を発見したんだよ。
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office. That's where we found the body.
本当だ、アリバイがある。
That's totally true. We're all in the clear. I mean, like, you shouldn't be so happy about that, Jill, because if nobody did it, then you're still gonna die because you haven't figured out the answer.
わかった。悲鳴をラジカセに取っておいて、それを時間差で流したんだべ。
Oh, I know. They must have recorded them screaming on a tape or something and then played it later.
ラジカセなんてどこにあんの？
If that's true, then where's the tape? I still appreciate Hiro's outside the box thinking on that one. You know?
知らん。
I don't know.
適当なこと言わないでよ。
Don't just go making stuff up.
ともかく山田の悲鳴が聞こえた時は我らには明確なアリバイがあった。
Anyway, we all have rock solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
つまりあの場にいた我らには 山田の殺人は不可能だったということになる。
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
不可能なのは山田君の殺害に限ったことではありません。
What did I
そ
tell you?
の後の死体消失の件もそうですわ。
What did I tell you about the flashback? Fable shit happened again. Yep. And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared.
保健室から山田君の死体が消えた時、
When his body vanished from the nurse's office.
私と朝比奈さんは一緒にトイレにいましたし、他の皆さんは物理準備室にいらしたのですよね。
Hina and I were in the bathroom together while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
それに物理準備室から石丸くんの死体が消えた時もそうですわ。
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room.
あの時私たちは山田くんの死体消失の件で全員保健室に集まっていたのです。
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
私だけはずーっと物理準備室でまたギューだったけどね。
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room for the whole time.
じゃあジェノサイダーなら石丸っちの死体を運び出せたんじゃねえか？
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
石丸の死体運搬が可能でも保健室にあった山田の死体運搬は不可能だ。
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
山田の死体がなくなった時もそいつは物理準備室で倒れていたはずだからな。
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
どっちもやってませんけどね。
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
つまり山田くんの殺害もその後の2人の死体消失も私たちには不可能だったのです。
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
逆にそれらが可能だったのは姿を消していた葉隠くんかキリギリさんだけですわ。
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
キリギリさん、どうする？
So what now, Kyoko?
このまま誰がやったかを話し合っていても話が堂々巡りするだけのようね。
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
だったら誰がじゃなくてどうやってで考えてみましょうか。
So instead of who, I propose that we start talking about how.
特に山田くんの死体運搬については話し合う必要がありそうだし。
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
そうなんだよね。いくら調べても彼の死体を運んだ方法だけはわからなかったんだ。
That's true, we searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
しかもセレスさんの証言によると
And according to what Celeste said, I think flashback 38, we could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It seems so.
彼の死体はセレスさんと朝比奈さんが目を離したほんの1分程度の間に消えたらしいけど。
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it.
でもそんな短い時間であの巨体を1階の保健室から3階の美術倉庫に運ぶなんて。
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time.
どう考えても不可能だべ。
Oh yeah, man. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
その不可能を可能にする方法があると言ったら？
Well, what if I told you that there was a way to make the impossible possible?
どんな方法？
What? How?
死体自身に移動してもらえばいいのよ。
If the dead body were to move itself. Huh?
死体が勝手に動いたってこと？
The dead body moved on its own? Yep, zombie school. I know that School of the Dead already exists, but this is now a zombie school.
また幽霊か？
Not another ghost.
オカルト話がしたいわけじゃないだろう。そこの女が言っているのは
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
死んだと思われていた山田が実は生きていた可能性があるということだ。
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive. Like, I like how nobody has been concerned up until this point about the fact that, like, they heard one announcement for 2 deaths, and then there was another announcement later on. Like, nobody has been concerned about that, like, at all. Like, I could see where you would think that the discovery of the 2 deaths happened simultaneously, and so they would just only play one announcement, because it's never happened before, right? Like, you don't have any context for it, but why is nobody concerned about the fact that a second announcement played later? He was alive?
山田は保健室から運ばれたわけではなく、自らの足で動いたというの。
Are you saying that Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
じゃあ私たちが保健室で見つけた山田の死体って何だったの？
But, I mean, we found his body. He was dead. But from now on, every body that you find, you double tap. At the very least, I imagine if someone broke the rules and killed 3 people, Monokuma would play an announcement to explain that. Exactly, right? Like, the fact that nobody questioned that second later announcement at all. Nobody was like, hey, is there like a delay on these announcements where they can't play back to back or something like that? Like, it did not ping anybody's interest at all. Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
そんなことありえませんわ。
That it isn't possible. The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Okay, the broken wristwatch is the only evidence here, but doesn't really seem to have anything to do with Hifumi, so we might need to take... Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office? How do I get rid of that noise again? I couldn't even fucking read that. Oh, it's impossible. Hifumi was dead without a doubt. And how do you know that? Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that's why the announcement was made. Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was indeed intended to signal someone else's discovery. I think it's the A button. Yeah, I know that there is a button for the silencer shot. We should try that out and see if it just like permanently removes that from subsequent rounds, or if it only removes it from the current round. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time. There.
そんなはずあり。あの時の山田君どうして断言あなたも死体発見アナウンスあれは山田君の死体を発見した流されたアナウンスの本当にそうかし別の誰かの死体に対するアナウンス
Okay, let's see if those are all gone now. No, they're back. And dead body had been found. I feel like someone else's discovery. Maybe we fire at dead body had been found? Or maybe dead body was found at someone else's discovery. There. Nope, that's not right. Shit. This is the part that I'm like the worst at, is like a lot of the other stuff I have no problem with putting the logic together, but sometimes the suck up a truth bullet and use it part, I'm just like, wait, what? I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time. You think load 1 and shoot it at 3? Okay, he was actually still alive.
あの時の山田君は間違いね。どうして断言あなたも死体発見アナウンスあれは山田君の死体を発見した流されたアナウンスのはずで本当にそうか別の誰かの死体に対するアナウンスだったんだ。
There we go. Nope, that's not it either.
いいえ、あの時の山田どうして断言あなたの死体発見アナあれは山田君の流されたアナウンスの本当にそうか別の誰かの死体に対するアナウンスだったのかも。
最初に保健室で生きていたか。
いいえ、あの時の山田君はどうして断言あなたの死体発見アナウンスを聞いた。あれは山田君の死体を発見した。
There we go. Fine. The last fucking one we try. It's fine. Yeah. Like I said, some of the logic in these,
あの
like,
時の死体発見アナウンスって
it's
山田君の
frustrating
死体
because
を発見したせいで流れたものなのかな。
you know the answer. You're like, I know what you're trying to get to, and I have that endpoint, but trying to work back through the phrasing of this, it can be so frustrating. Yeah, was the body discovery announcement that was made intended, really intended for Hifumi?
当然ですわ。だって山田君の死体を発見した直後にあのアナウンスを聞いたのですよ。
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
でもそれは石丸君の死体を発見した人たちも同じだったはずだよ。
Maybe, but that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
その通りだ。俺たちは石丸の死体を発見した直後にあのアナウンスを聞いている。
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement. Yeah, when I... So
僕
there's a
た
good
ちは勘違いしてたんじゃないかな。
so there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere.
石丸君の死体発見アナウンスは山田君の死体発見アナウンスだとさ。
I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or for Taka.
そもそも死体が2つ見つかったのであればアナウンスも2回流れるはずだ。
First of all, if 2 bodies have been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
モノクマが横着して一回にまとめただけかもしれませんわ。
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one. I feel like Monokuma is about to pipe up on this. I don't feel like he would appreciate being called lazy.
その点に関してはどうなんだ。
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
とってもセンシティブな問題だから詳しいことは言えないんだけど。
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't get into too much detail.
そもそも死体発見アナウンスってのはね、
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that
3人以上の人間がその死体を最初に発見した時だけ流れるのです。
it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
答えになってないべ。俺らは横着したかどうか聞いてる。
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
いや、今ので十分だ。
No, actually, that was plenty. Byakuya is using those 3 brain cells and realizing that then there should not have been a second announcement later on. Huh?
死体を最初に発見した時だけ流れる。ということは、
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means
同じ死体を何度発見しようとも死体発見アナウンスは流れないということだな。
even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the same announcement again.
だとすると、あの時の死体発見アナウンスはどうして流れたんだろうな。
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
はあの時って
Huh? Later on?
僕たちは今回の一連の事件で2回の死体発見アナウンスを聞いているはずだよ。
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played is when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when, was it just after Hifumi came back to life? I think so. It wasn't when they rediscovered. Actually, was it when they were rediscovered? Shit. Yeah, because I think he came back to life after the announcement. Yeah.
これだ。2回目の死体発見アナウンスを聞いたのは美術倉庫で2人の死体を再発見した時だよ。
We heard it the second time in the repository when we rediscovered the 2 bodies. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother reading it. That flashback 39.
にまで気が回らなかったけど、これってモノクマの言葉と矛盾してるよね。
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
死体を最初に発見した時だけ流れるのなら、死体を再発見した時に流れるはずがない。
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
じゃあやっ ぱりそうなんだよ。
Then in reality,
僕らが2人の死体を再発見した時、どちらか片方の死体は
when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was
実
actually
は初めて発見された状態だったんだよ。
being discovered for the first time.
つまり最初に保健室で発見された時の山田はまだ死んではおらず、
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
我らが本当の意味であいつの死体を発見したのは美術倉庫の時だったということか。
Meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
だけどそれだけじゃないんだ。
And that's just part of it.
保健室の山田くんが生きていたと考えられる根拠は他にも存在するんだよ。
There's still one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
その根拠私にはわかるよ。
Oh, I know.
あいつは死んだふりが上手だったからそれで決まり。
It's because he was super good at playing dead. Bada bing, bada boom.
その程度のことは根拠とは呼びません。
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
やはり彼が生きていた根拠なんて存在するとは思えませんわ。
But honestly, I do not think that there's anything that can prove that he was still alive.
だったらもう一度山田君の死体の状況について振り返ってみましょう。
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
そうすればはっきりするはずよ。
Then it should
彼
become
が生きていたかどうかがね。
then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
無駄だと思いますが。
This whole thing is pointless. There has to be proof that Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show everyone. It's the glasses cleaning cloth. Why are you making me do this? Just show them the glasses cleaning cloth. There we go, Hifumi's glasses.
最初に山田の死
Well,
体
there
を
is
見
one
つけ
thing
た
we
の
do
は
know.
保健室だった
The
の
first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
でも私とセレスちゃん
And
が
then,
トイレに
while
行って
me
る
and
間に
Celeste were in the bathroom,
死体は消えちゃっ
his
たん
body
だよ。
disappeared.
そして次にその
And the
死
next
体
time
が
we
発
saw
見
his
された
body,
のは美
oops,
術倉庫
wrong
だった
button.
な。
It was in the repository.
移動前の彼の死体と移動
But
後
when
の
you
彼
compare
の
his
死
body
体
before being moved and his body after being moved,
体勢が変わった以外に特に違いはありません
oh,
でした
wrong button. Yeah, there was no notable difference.
本当にあい
That's
つ
the
は
one I
生き
think
て
we
い
have
た
to
の
hit.
ありえません。若
Of
々
course
しい
not.
で
It's
すわ。
impossible. This is ridiculous. Yeah.
最初に山田保健室だったよね。でも私とセレス死体は消えちゃった。
そして次に美術倉庫。
移動前の彼の死体と移動体勢が変わった以外に特に違いはありませんでしたわ。
There we go.
それは違うよ。
Much better than last time.
保健室の山田くんと美術倉庫の山田くん。
In fact, there
そ
was
こに
one.
は明らかな違いがあったはずだよ。
There was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and in the repository. Yeah, easy one, thank you, game. Yeah, I find the ones where you suck up a line and then shoot it at another line. Those ones, the logic and phrasing for them are the worst.
山田くんの
His glasses.
メガネだよ。そしてそれが根拠になるはずなんだ。
That
保健
fact,
室の山田くんが死んだふりをしてたこともね。
Makoto, stop doing such big dramatic pauses. Talk a little faster. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
詳しい話を聞かせてもらいましょうか。
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
最初に保健室で山田くんの死体を見つけたとき、彼のメガネは血で汚れてたんだけど、
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood.
美術倉庫で死体を再発見したときには、
But when we found him again later in the repository,
山田くんのメガネは綺麗になってたんだよ。
they were spotless.
しかもメガネの血を拭いたと思われるものも保健室のゴミ箱から見つかったんだ。
And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... Oh, wrong button.
これだ。保健室のゴミ箱から見つかったのはキャラクターもののメガネ拭きだよ。
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
ここに付着した血痕を見てもらえばわかるでしょ。
One look at the bloodstain on this cloth should make things clear.
山田くんのメガネの血がこのメガネ拭きで拭かれたってことがさ。
This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean.
しかもこのメガネ拭きのキャラクターってあのデジカメと同じだよね。
And the mascot on this cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
山田君が持ち込んだデジカメとさ。
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
下道天使もちもちプリンセスのプリンセスブーコだったよね。
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think. I am surprised that Ali remembers that.
こんなメガネ拭きを持ってたのって山田君以外にはいないと思うんだけど。
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
この中でメガネをかけているのは
I see your point, and the only people here who wear glasses are.
俺はそんな安物は使わん。
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that. Okay, just deal with having dirty glasses then, Byakuya. Yeah, broken clocks and all.
私のメガネ拭きはティッシュで十分よ。
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
だとすると間違いないよ。このメガネ拭きは山田君のものだったんだ。
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
つまりどういうことだべ？
So what you're saying is... What exactly? Oh, Hiro.
つまり山田君のメガネについてた血が彼のメガネ拭きで拭かれてたってことだよ。
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth. Come on, Hiro. Like, why would anyone take the trouble of taking the glasses cleaning cloth out of his pocket and cleaning the dead man's glasses and putting them back on his face and then throwing out the cloth? You know?
だからといって彼が自分でメガネの血を拭いたとは限りませんわ。
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
でもさ、メガネをきれいにして得するのってそのメガネをかけてる本人以外には考えられないよね。
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
それもそうだ
That is a good point.
ってことはやっぱり山田っち自身が？
Then it must have been him, right?
だとすると保健室で見つかった時の山田君はまだ生きていたということになるわ。
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office.
そこで死んだふりをしていた彼はメガネに付着した血をメガネ拭きで拭き取った後
He pretends to be dead, and then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see.
自らの足で保健室から出て行ったんじゃないかしら。
Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
どう？それなら可能でしょう。不可能に思えた彼の死体運搬。
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
でもさ、保健室にいた時のあいつが死んだふりをしてただけなら。
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead...
じゃあ、あの血って何だったの？絵の具かなんかってこと？
What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something? Well, we did see a bunch of, like, blood transfusion packs in the fridge in the nurse's office.
保健室の冷蔵庫に輸血用の血液が保管されていたわ。
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
きっと死んだふりをするとき大げさに血をぶちまきすぎちまったんじゃね？
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should just go all out. So he dumped it everywhere.
そんで後でメガネを拭く羽目になったのよ。ひえふみんたらおまぬけさんね。
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
それに山田君が生きていたとすると石丸君の死体消失の件にも説明がつくわ。
Yeah, I really don't like the way that they talk about Hifumi like that. Like, talk about Hifumi because he was an irritating idiot who, like, you know, was difficult to be around and generally unpleasant. You don't have to be fat shamey about it. And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
誰が彼の死体を運んだかそれがはっきりするはずよ。
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse. Yeah, Hifumi.
これだ。山田君ってことだよね。
It could only have been Hifumi. I mean, everybody else has an alibi, right?
俺たちが保健室に集まっている隙に物理準備室から石丸の死体を運び出したのか。
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
そうなると美術倉庫に鍵がかかってた件にも説明がつけられそうだね。
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
美術倉庫の鍵
The door was locked?
2人の死体が消えちゃった後、みんなで死体の捜索をすることになったでしょ。
Well, after the bodies all disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
その時、私とさくらちゃんは真っ先に美術室を調べに行ったんだけど、
So me and Sakura headed for the repository.
そうしたらね、美術倉庫の鍵が閉まってたんだ。
But when we got there, the door was locked.
しかも美術倉庫のドアの鍵は倉庫側からしかかけられない作りになってるんだ。
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
つまり朝比奈さんたちが美術倉庫に行った時、その中には誰か人がいたはずなんだ。
Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
それが石丸の死体を運んだ直後の山田だったということか。
And it could only have been Hifumi, who had just finished stashing Taka's body there.
彼は死んだふりをすることでみんなを欺き、その隙に石丸くんの死体を美術倉庫まで運んだのよ。
He convinced us all that he was dead, and then when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
つまり山田くんは単なる被害者じゃなく加害者として事件に関与していたのよ。
So Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case, he was one of the assailants.
だがまさか被害者の山田が事件に関与していたとは。
There you go, Sakura, you're getting it. Yeah, but that means he took part in the murders.
そんな、信じらんないよ。
I just can't believe it.
信じられないならもう一つの根拠を見せてあげましょうか。
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
まだあんのか？
There's more?
ええ、山田くんが事件に関与していたことを示す最大の根拠が残っているわ。
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
苗木くんは分かっているわよね。彼が被害者の石丸くんから奪った。
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item that he took off of Taka's lifeless body? The note. The note Hifumi had. Oh, wrong button.
これだ。キリギリさんが言ってるのって山田くんが隠し持ってたメモのことだよね。
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
隠し持ってた？
A hidden note?
死んだ山田くんがパンツの中に隠し持ってたんだ。
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants. I'm actually slightly concerned there because I just heard what he said. And he said pantsu. He didn't say zuban. So pantsu is underwear. Zuban is pants. So I don't know maybe if it's different for like guys' underwear versus girls' underwear. But yeah, I think maybe the the note was stuffed in his boxers or his undies. Yeah, and that's why he was like, man, like earlier when he was complaining about having to retrieve this, I think that's why. That's right, we found it stuffed in his pants.
あいつの？
What? In his
パンツに？
pants? Yeah, I think this is why everyone is like going nuts over this.
パンツか。
Yes, his pants.
パンツは置いといてさ、メモの中身を見てくれるかな。
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says. I found a hole that maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't let anyone else know for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
あ、俺が言ってたメモってこれだべ。
Yeah,
俺はこのメモで呼び出され。
that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
ってあれ？微妙に違うな。確か俺が受け取ったメモだと。
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said,
モノクマに感づかれるとまずいからみんなに内緒で深夜1時に娯楽室に集合って。
Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
そうなんだ。このメモは葉隠くんが受け取ったのとは全く別のものなんだ。
I see. Then this note isn't the same one that Hiro got.
全く別？
It's not the same?
つまり葉隠くんと同じように犯人に呼び出された人物がもう一人いたんだよ。
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
犯人に呼び出されたもう一人の人物。
The person was Taka. He had the
その
note.
人物は
I love, like, these multiple choice are not even, like, a fucking question.
石丸くんだよ。
That's right, Taka.
このメモで犯人に呼び出されたのは殺された石丸くんだったんだよ。
The killer used this note to draw Taka out and murder him. Hello, over here. Objection. Objection.
よくわかんないけど、そのメモってひふみんが持ってたんでしょ？
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
だったらそのメモで呼び出されたのもひよたんじゃなくてひふみんだろうがよ。
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy. These English nicknames are terrible.
キヨタンが石丸で、ひふみんが山田だよね。
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
誰めだろうがいちいち解説すんな。
Oh, yes. Why must you ruin it every time? Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary. But still, I can't let her get to me. Oh god, the broken wristwatch, the glasses, and the glasses cleaning cloth are possibilities
そのメモ
here.
はひふみんが持ってたんでしょ？
Huffy had the note, right?
そのメモで呼び出されたのも
Then the person it was intended for
当然ひふみんだろうがよ。
must have been Huffy.
そのメモの内容をよく
But remember what the note said.
メモにあった集合
What
時間
time did it say to
何時
meet?
だったかしら。
早朝6時だった。
6 a.m., I believe.
何時に呼び
The
出され
time
てよ
doesn't
うが
matter.
そんなにキュータンとは
It had
関係
nothing to do
ね
with
えだろ。
TikTok. Okay. The time on the note said 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? That was when Taka died.
そのメモはひふみんが持ってたんでしょ？じゃあそのメモで呼び出されたのも当然ひふみんだろうがよ。
そのメモの内容をよく
But remember what the note
メモ
said.
にあっ
What
た
time did it
集合
say
時
to
間
meet?
早朝6時だったね。
何時に呼
Time
び出す
doesn't matter.
そんなにキュータンとは関係ねえだろ。
There.
それは違うよ。いや、関係あるはずだよ。
No, there absolutely is a connection.
ああ、何を抜かすかこわっぱく。
What the hell are you talking about?
このメモの呼び出し時間は早朝6時。それって石丸くんが殺された時間と一緒なんだ。
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time that Taka was murdered.
この腕時計が示している通りね。
We've already proven that using his wristwatch.
それだけじゃないよ。このメモの集合場所は
Look, but there's more. Look where the note says to meet.
物理準備室に集合ってあるでしょ。
The equipment room, right?
そうか。石丸が殺されていたのは物理準備室だったな。
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
つまり石丸くんはこのメモで指定された時間帯の指定された場所で殺されてたんだよ。
So, Taka was murdered at both time and place written in the note.
これって十分な根拠って言えるんじゃない？
I think that should be
このメモ
plenty.
で呼び出されたのが石丸くんってことのさ。
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
なるほど、そういうことなら。
Well, when you put it like that. No further objections.
じゃあ石丸っちは俺と同じようにそのメモで騙されたんだな。
Then someone used that note to trick Taka, just the same as me.
極悪非道で血も涙もない冷血無比な犯人だべ。外が見えるなんて言葉で人を騙しやがって。
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they'd found a way out.
でもさ、どうして山田は石丸に渡されたメモなんか持ってたの？
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less.
それはきっと山田くんが死んだ石丸くんから奪い取ったからだよ。
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off of Taka's corpse after he died.
奪い取った？
He stole it.
その根拠は何だ？言ってみろ。
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us. Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. It is a scrap of paper.
これだ。死んだ石丸くんの手には小さな紙切れが握られてたんだけどさ、
When I had searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
僕の考えに間違いがないならこの紙切れの切り口は
If I'm right about this, this sheet of paper that this piece came from is...
思った通りだ山田君が隠し持ってたメモと一致したよ
I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note that we found hidden on Hifumi.
じゃあ石丸が握ってた小さな紙切れと山田が隠し持ってたメモって
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
元は同じ一枚の紙だったんだよ
Yep, they're from the same piece of paper. In a previous trial, didn't we also do check the notepad in someone's room to rub graphite over it and get that indentation of the previous writing? So yeah, couldn't we also do this where we could go to the first one? Yeah. Where we could maybe go to Hifumi's room and see if this was written on his notepad. After the first one, smart murderers should be ripping the piece of paper off of the pad and then just writing on the table or something. Yep, they're from the same piece of paper.
石丸くんに渡されたはずのメモを山田くんが持っていた。
Hifumi
その
had
石丸くんの手にはメモの切れ端だけが残されていた。
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note.
この状況に説明をつけられる可能性は
There's only
一つしかないはずよ。
talk faster. There's only one way to explain it.
石丸はメモを握りしめたまま死んだ。山田はそのメモを石丸の手から奪い取ろうとし、
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death's grip.
その際、破れた紙の切れ端だけが
Leaving behind
石丸の手の中に残ってしまった。
leaving behind only one small scrap.
そういうことか。
Did I get all of that right?
だとすると山田はそのメモが重要な証拠だと知っていたことになるな。
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
それが根拠になるのよ。山田くんが事件に関与していたことなの。
Exactly, which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
なるほど。
Oh.
これだけの材料が揃えば間違いないべ。山田っちは今回の事件に深く関与しとったんだ。
Yeah, after seeing all of this Hifumi was super involved with the whole thing for sure.
というか、
In fact,
犯人は山田っちだべ。実はあいつは今も生きてるんだべ。
he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive. No, Hiro. This time he's really dead.
いやそれはないよ
Sorry, no.
美術倉庫で見つけた山田君は確かに死んでたはずだよ
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. Except for when he came back for a little bit. You know? And then he was gone.
その時流れた2回目の死体発見アナウンスがそれを物語ってるし
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
じゃあ山田は誰に殺されちゃったの
So then, who killed Hifumi?
真犯人というところだろう。
Whoever did it is the mastermind, the true killer.
殺害現場は死体が発見された美術倉庫でしょうね。
He was killed in the repository,
石丸くんの死体を運んだ直後に殺されたの。
so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
A はあいつは石丸の死体消失から2人の死体が再発見されるまでの間に殺されたのだな。
So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
その間俺たちは手分けして消えた死体の捜索をしていたはずだ。
During that time, we all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
つまり俺たち全員のアリバイがない時間帯だ。
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
でも私とさくらちゃんは一緒だったよ
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
それでなんかアピってんじゃねえぞこのスットゴット生が。
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus. I mean, Jill, again, you should be happy that people are excluding themselves from this. You gotta figure it out or you're all gonna die.
誰がスットゴット生よ
Who are you calling a walrus?
つうか、殺された時間帯もそうだけど、もっと気になることがあんべ。
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too, but there's something that's been bothering me even more.
もっと気になることですか？
And what might that be?
山田っちはどんな凶器で殺されたんかなーって。
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
凶器
Weapon.
だってよ、モノクマファイルによると
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file,
石丸っちと山田っちは同じような凶器で同じように頭をかち割られてたらしいけど、
the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all.
でもよ、3号のハンマーも4号のハンマーも保健室と物理準備室に落ちたままだったはずだべ。
But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
山田っちが美術倉庫で殺されたってことは、
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository,
犯人はどっちかの部屋からハンマーを持ち出して、それで美術倉庫にいる山田っちを殺した後、
the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi,
またその部屋にハンマーを戻したってのか？
and then put the hammer back where they found it. Except for that, you know, art mallet that we saw hanging on the wall that mysteriously was very clean and possibly wet, if I remember correctly.
でもよ、それって危険すぎねえか？
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
こいつは驚いたな。お前の頭蓋骨の中にも脳みそがあったとは。
Byakuya, you might think better of Yasuhiro, but I think worse of you. I'm surprised. It seems that there's some semblance of a brain knocking around in that skull of yours after all.
ギュンギュンに詰まってるべ。
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
だが葉隠れの言う通りだ。確かに気になるな。
He's right though. I don't understand it either. True. With the information, we have information that Hiro doesn't have there, so we know about the mallet and he doesn't know. So it is a good concern to bring forward. He's right though. I don't understand it either.
モノクマファイルによると、2人は同じような凶器で殺されているはずだが、
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments.
3号と4号のハンマーがそれぞれの部屋に残されたままだったとなると。
But if the hammers were already laying around in those other
で
rooms,
は犯人はそれらのハンマーをどうやって持ち運んだのでしょう？
so the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
見当もつきませんわね。
Personally, I haven't a clue.
じゃあ1号とか2号のハンマーはセレスちゃんとかを襲うのに使われたやつ。
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2? Number save is the hammer. Billion saves.
あれだってそれぞれの部屋に置き去りのままだし、そもそも人を殺せる威力はなさそうだよ。
Those were accounted for in the other rooms too, and I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
だとしたら
Then,
それ以外の凶器という可能性もあるんじゃないのか？
is it not possible that they used a different weapon?
それ以外の凶器なんてありえねえって。
I
だっ
don't,
て2人は似たような凶器で殺されてんだぞ。
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
だったら山田を殺した凶器とは何だったのだ。
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi? The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Okay, we got the spotless hammer. What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it a Justice Hammer 3? Justice Hammer 4?
どちらにしても
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out.
凶器を持ち運んだ
How
ので
was
し
the
ょうね。
culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon?
誰にも目撃
How
され
did
る
no
こ
one
とな
witness them
く
carrying it?
今明らかになる。
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its
正体
appearance.
は
Check out on murdergear.com/hammertime for more info. Well, one thing seems pretty clear. It had to be one of the Justice Hammers. Don't even need to go through it again. That's it.
やっぱり凶器はジャスティスハンマーじゃなくて
Yeah, nuh-uh.
別の凶器だったんだよ。
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
けど別の凶器って？
But seriously? A different weapon? I mean, technically, I think that the Justice Hammers are just the art mallets that have been repainted. But whatever, because there's a number of them missing from the wall. But whatever.
美術倉庫のハンマーだよ。犯人は あれを凶器に使ったんじゃないかな。
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi.
それに美術倉庫に残されたハンマーはどれも石の破片や粉なんかが付着してたんだけど。
Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
そのうちの一つだけがなぜか綺麗に洗われてたんだよ。
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
洗われてた？
そのハンマーが現れたのはそれが山田君を殺した本当の凶器だったからだよ。
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it had been used to commit murder.
犯人は凶器に付着した血痕を洗い流すためにわざわざハンマーを洗ったんじゃないかな。
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
しかもな、美術倉庫の壁には大小さまざまなハンマーがかけられてたんだけどさ。
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small
その
ones,
うちのいくつかは歯抜けになってたんだ。
and even some flat mallet-like ones.
ジャスティスハンマー自体もここのハンマーを元にして作られたんじゃないかな。
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
であれば同じような凶器という条件も一致するな。
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
では山田は石丸の死体を美術倉庫まで運んだ直後その場にあるハンマーで殺されたのか。
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
それをやったのが真犯人。山田と共犯で最終的に裏切ったやつ。
And whoever did that is the true killer, the one Hifumi was working with, and the one who betrayed him.
いえ、ちょっと待ってください。共犯者という考え方はおかしいですわ。
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. Yeah, because he fucking brained himself with a hammer. Like, right? Like, you know... Celeste, try harder.
だってこの学園生活における卒業のルールでは共犯者は何も得をしないはずです。
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
つまり共犯者の可能性はありえない。以前もそう結論付けたはずですわよ。
And so the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not? We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Nope, this is gonna have to be a... the spotless hammer is not gonna be a good enough piece of evidence for this conversation. We're gonna have to pull up one of the things.
共犯したところで生き延びる
Even
こと
more
が
than
でき
one,
るのは
even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
とすると共犯
Assuming
者
the
の
rule
可能
holds
性はあり
true,
ま
it's
せん
simply impossible that two people work together on this.
確かにそうだったな。
That is how the rule was explained to
だけ
us.
どそれは
But then that only
事件
really
一つだった場合
applies if there's one murder, right?
今回起きた事
In
件
this case,
二つだった
however, there were two murders.
それは今回起きた事件は2つだったの。
Okay, we got two murders.
ここでのルールでは共犯したところで殺しを実行した1人だけのはず。とすると共犯者の可能性はあり
There we go.
それは違うよ。でも今回は2つの事件が起きてたんだ。だったら共犯関係も成り立つんじゃないかな。
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved. Aw, hell yeah, you're letting me save right now. Perfect.
どういう意味だ。
What do you mean?
共犯者の存在が考えられないのは起きた事件が1つだった場合の話。
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
当然よね。1つの事件で助かるのが1人だけなら共犯したところで天秤作用が成立しないんだ。
Naturally, if only one person can be saved from murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
天秤作用？
Risk versus reward benefit?
その仕事と釣り合う額の報酬。つまり共犯するだけの危険に見合った報酬。
The payoff for working together, the reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme.
殺人を手伝っても助からないんだったら 共犯する意味なんてない。
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
でも逆にその天秤作用さえ成立すれば誰かと共犯関係になることは不可能ではないわ。
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible. I feel like they should be clarifying this point with Monokuma again.
2人の犯人が2つの殺人を犯し互いの殺人の共犯者になればいいということか。
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
真犯人はその計画を山田君に持ちかけたのよ。自分の犯行の共犯をさせるために。
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi, that they would each have an accomplice for their crime.
おそらく最初に石丸君を殺したのは山田君だったはずよ。
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
先に彼に殺人を起こさせ逃げられなくした上で自分の計画を手伝わせたんでしょうね。
They made him carry out the first murder so we couldn't back out on helping them later on.
つまり今回の事件は一人の犯人による連続殺人なんかじゃなくて
So in this case, there wasn't a single person committing multiple murders.
一人の犯人が起こした二つの事件だったんだよ。
Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. Okay, we are going to do our last save. And that is going to be, we're going to do it again, just to be safe. That is going to be it for today.